Hej, siemano wam wszystkim ludzie, z tej strony Arturo, witam was na swoim kanale i kontynuujemy Runaway sen żółwia. Moi drodzy, udało nam się zdobyć głowę łosia, niestety nie jest w białym kolorze, a ja nie mam zielonego pojęcia jak mam ją pofarbować, żeby przypominała głowę niedźwiedzia. Okej, w takim razie porozmawiajmy z Joshuą.
Darn. He seems to have fallen back into a dreamlike state. I'll have to shake him up a bit again.
Czy są jakieś nowe opcje dialogowe? Wielki meteor zniszczył Trantor. Joshua, to ja Brian, twój przyjaciel. Człowieku, zamek się otworzył, widać twojego ptaszka. Tak naprawdę nie ma żadnych nowych opcji dialogowych.
Trantor's been destroyed by a huge meteor.
No! Say it isn't true!
Tak, a jagody zawierały trantonit, który odebrał ci twoje supermoce. Przepraszam, Joshua, żartowałem. No dobra, kłamałem. Nic się nie stało z Trantorem, musisz tylko zjeść surowego łososia, żeby sobie przypomnieć.
Nothing's happened to Trantor. You just need to eat some raw salmon to remember the password.
Raw salmon? A lunatic wouldn't eat that.
Musisz to zrobić, to absolutnie konieczne.
You have to do it. It's completely necessary.
Well, guess what? I'm not gonna.
Nawet z ketchupem i frytkami?
Not even with some W ketchup and freedom fries?
Yuck! I can't stand ketchup. What I really like doesn't go with salmon. I'm more of a fiend for chocolate, shakes, vanilla ice cream, donuts, peanut butter, apple pie, maple syrup, caramel smoothies.
I nie dasz rady przełknąć?
Is there no way to convince you?
No, Brian. I am a civilized person, a decent Tranto-Japanese American, and I don't eat raw animals. You think I'm some sort of polar bear?
Mówiłeś, że kim jesteś? Trento czym?
What did you say you are? A Tranto what?
Tranto-Japanese American, a resident of Trantor, of Japanese origin, born in the United States. Quite a mix, isn't it?
No dobra, ale skoro ma japońskie korzenie, to powinien lubić sushi. Japończykiem? Masz w sobie japońską krew?
Japanese? So you do have some Japanese blood in you?
Of course, what do you think? My ancestors were samurais. I believe my grandpa's the one who came to the States, but I haven't really studied the family tree.
Well, if you're Japanese, whatever, you must love sushi, right?
Oh, hi, Brianson. Mackerel, tuna, halibut, octopus. It's almost the only gourmet food I enjoy, besides desserts.
What about salmon? Do you dig salmon sushi?
Well, if there's nothing else swimming around, yeah, I'll eat it with pleasure. By the way, did I mention I'm dying of starvation?
I'll get you a salmon, or my name's not Brian. Don't you worry, you'll be getting ready for the most delicious plate of sushi you've ever had in a jiffy.
Oh, dear Brian, we geniuses don't cook. If nobody's around to make our meals, we just order out for pizza or bite our nails. But under no circumstances would we waste any time on something as mundane as cooking.
Wow, he was hard to convince, but this is better than nothing. I have no choice but to look for someone who will teach me to make salmon sushi.
Szczerze powiedziawszy, wolałbym pizzę niż obgryzać paznokcie. Ale dobra, wiemy, że Joshua lubi sushi, a nam udało się zrobić przerębel. Niestety nie dostaniemy się do tego przerębla, dopóki nie pozbędziemy się niedźwiedzia. A żeby pozbyć się niedźwiedzia, musielibyśmy przebrać Wazowskiego. Tylko kurde, ta głowa łosia mu się nie podoba.
I don't know. I think I should try to do something with it first, to make it fit into Wazowski's bear costume better.
No właśnie, w jakiś sposób musiałbym tą głowę przefarbować na biało, tak mi się przynajmniej wydaje. Ale ogólnie możemy porozmawiać z Wazowskim, może powie mi, jak przygotować sushi.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Strasznie denerwuje mnie ten przerywający obraz. Ogólnie czytałem na forum, że dużo ludzi ma z tym problem i było tam podane rozwiązanie, jak się tego pozbyć, ale było to na Windowsy XP. Jak to się robi w Windowsie 10, nie mam zielonego pojęcia, dlatego musimy się przemęczyć. Przynajmniej jeszcze przez ten jeden odcinek. Nie wiesz przypadkiem, jak się robi sushi?
You wouldn't happen to know how to make sushi, would you?
Well, as you guessed, I don't know how. And go figure, because I've been to Japan a couple of times, but I know nothing beyond traditional cooking. In steak with mashed potatoes, I have eyes for nothing more.
I zakładam, że nie masz książki kucharskiej z przepisem na łososiowe sushi.
And I'm assuming you don't have a book with the recipe for salmon sushi?
For sushi? Not as I recall. But if you want, I have a great one for grilled salmon. I could win the Iron Chef with that recipe, especially if the salmon's fresh.
Do you know anyone in this area who knows how to make it?
If anyone would know about that, it's Professor Simon's cook. I think he's from China, somewhere around there. But today is his day off, so I doubt you'll find him around. Well, then there's Archibald, but if I were you, I wouldn't want to meet him.
Kim jest Archibald? Kto to taki?
Archibald? Who's that?
Some say he's either Bigfoot, a serial killer, a 200-pound gremlin, or a war criminal. People say the darndest things. Satch, the pizza guy from Sicily, says he saw him a short while back. He was coming to deliver some pizzas to me when he heard a noise in the back of his pickup. When he got out, he saw a running shadow and chased it until he lost sight of it. When he returned to the pickup, they'd stolen the pizzas and opened up the engine. He couldn't get the pickup started, so he had to leave it around here somewhere. He's sure it was Archibald, but actually it could have been anybody.
Okej, wiesz jak wygląda ten Archibald?
Do you know what Archibald looks like?
The last thing I heard is he's 6'7", has a flat head, green skin, and a body full of scars.
Do you have any idea how I can find him?
No, pal. You don't find Archibald. He finds you. You may be asking yourself, why is Ben saying that? Well, because that's what happened to me. Not once, but twice.
Czyli mówisz, że widziałeś Archibalda.
So, you say you've seen Archibald?
No, amigo. I didn't tell you I had seen him, but that I'd been with him. As for seeing him the way I see you now, never.
Co się stało, kiedy pierwszy raz spotkałeś Archibalda?
What happened the first time you met Archibald?
The first time? Oh yeah, it was Christmas Eve. I picked up my guitar, went out on the balcony, sipped down a mug of beer, and started singing A Christmas Carol. I hadn't finished the first bar when I felt a sharp object in my back, as a whispering voice told me,
John Lennon sang Christmas carols much better than you, and look where he ended up. Your end may be much more cruel and imaginative.
I stopped playing and asked, You're Archibald, aren't you? But there was nobody there.
Co się stało, kiedy znalazł cię drugi raz?
What happened the second time he found you?
I was sitting here having a beer when I recognized his voice.
I'm going to give you some emergency anesthesia. If you move, I'll leave you dumber than you are now.
I felt something hit my head, and I fell to the floor. When I woke up, I saw I'd been blindfolded. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but you get my drift. I said, Where am I? Who are you? What do you want from me? I thought my kidnapper was a competing bear scientist, so I yelled, You'll never get me to tell you my theory, no matter how hard you torture me. But that wasn't the deal. He said his name was Archibald, and that he was a chef. He just invented a tarantula venom salsa, and he wanted to experiment with me to see if the venom was still poisonous after being boiled. Thank goodness it wasn't, but it was quite a laxative.
Nie masz pojęcia, gdzie może być jego dom?
You have no clue about where his house is?
Well, no. I've scoured the area many times, but I can't ever seem to find it. I'm starting to suspect he lives in a hole, like a bunny rabbit.
Well, let's stop talking about Archibald for now.
As you wish, but don't ever call him Archie. He gets mad with rage.
Okej, wspominałeś coś na temat esencji, wracając do profesora Simona, imponujący kostium. Mniejsza z tym.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Czyli tak, Wazowski spotkał Archiego. Dobra, nie powinienem go tak nazywać, bo dostanę prawdopodobnie w pierdziel. Ale spotkał go przy swojej chacie. I grał wtedy na gitarze. Okej, spróbujmy. Wejdźmy na górę i spróbujmy użyć gitary.
Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. I better go outside so he can hear me all right. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you!
Darn. Wait for me.
That's too bad. His nose didn't even bleed.
Archibald wygląda jak taki typowy Rusek.
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken. Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at this very moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
Musisz mi pomóc.
You have to help me. My friend got sick from some wild berries, and you're the only one who can whip up the antidote.
You got the wrong idea about me, mister. Even though I'm smarter than most of them, I'm not a doctor.
Słyszałem, że w kuchni jesteś prawdziwym magikiem.
I've heard you're a whiz in the kitchen.
Mister, I am much, much more than that.
Gdzie się nauczyłeś gotować?
Where'd you learn to cook?
By cooking. How else do you think people learn? But of course, I studied at the finest schools in Paris with the greatest chefs. All I can say is, though, they learn more from me than me from them.
Jestem pewien, że pracowałeś w najlepszych restauracjach.
You must have worked in the finest restaurants, I'm sure.
Yes, all the ones they won't let the likes of you into. But I grew tired of half-baked cooks stealing my recipes and using them to get the best reviews in the Guide Michelin.
Prawdę mówiąc, kiedy się na niego spojrzy, trudno go sobie wyobrazić w białym fartuchu i kucharskiej czapce.
The truth is, looking at you here, it's hard to picture you in a white apron and a chef's hat.
Hey kid, I can easily picture you in a shroud lying in your coffin.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying...
Good lord, what an annoying person. If I'd known, I would have acted like a sane individual and made you swallow that bleach.
Wlał ci ten wybielacz do gardła, czyli prawdopodobnie rzucił w nas butelką wybielacza. Świetnie, to mi się przyda do wybielenia głowy łosia.
Don't leave, there's more to come.
God, who rebooted this kid?
Chciałbym, żebyś mi wytłumaczył, jak się robi sushi.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Znasz profesora Simona?
Do you know Professor Simon?
The best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion. Doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
Mam pieniądze, jeśli mi pomożesz, zapłacę ile zechcesz.
I have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Na pewno nie możesz mnie nauczyć sushi?
Are you sure you can't teach me to make sushi?
I've mastered the art of cuisine, but I hate the world of education. You want to learn a trade, commit a crime, and sign up for a vocational course in prison. When they let you out, you'll know something useful other than fishing soap chips out of urinals, and you'll no longer be a parasite to society.
To dużo bierzesz za swoje usługi?
You charge that much for your services?
Price is a relative concept, kid. It depends who asks me, what they want, when they need it, and more than anything, what side of the bed I woke up on.
Czy umiałbyś zrobić sushi łososiowe?
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace, the man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want, it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the proper ingredients, and I'm missing some essentials for sushi.
Jakich składników trzeba do sushi?
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case, salmon.
Jakich składników ci brakuje?
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi. No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste. I think I have some soy sauce and ginger around here, so that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either, or a bamboo mat for rolling up the maki sushi.
Nie jestem na 100% pewien, czy uda mi się ze wszystkimi, ale niektóre brakujące składniki mógłbym znaleźć.
I'm not 100% sure of all the ingredients that you're missing, but I could try to find them somewhere around here.
You don't know what the salmon, nori, chopsticks, and bamboo mat look like? Your lack of culinary culture is at par with your IQ. Look around if you want, but I doubt you'll find them all.
Getting back to what you were saying,
You really like to analyze things in depth.
if we were to get all of the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
Szczerze powiedziawszy, tu mamy niewiele. Pierwsze, co przychodzi mi do głowy, to to, że nie mam nic. To wystarczy?
My first thought is I have nothing. Will that be enough? Hey, did you hear me? I said I don't have anything on me.
If you have nothing to offer, I have nothing to say, and of course nothing to make for you. Can't you get that into your head?
No więc mam najnowocześniejszy telefon komórkowy z aparatem z potrójnym CCD.
Well, I do have a state-of-the-art cell phone with a 3 CCD camera. It also hooks up to the net by WAP, has an MP3 player, a hairdryer, a GPS tracker, and a C3PO universal translator.
A phone? Who would I want to talk to? Plus, the cameras in cell phones can be activated by remote control, and the CIA guys are no dummies. I'd rather keep an eye on you, just in case one day your idiocy grows to dangerous levels.
Nie o to chodzi, co ja przy sobie mam, ale o to, co ty ze sobą zabierzesz.
Wait a sec.
How much? Times with you seem to last as infinitely as your stupidity. They have no end.
It's not about what I have on me, but rather what you'll be taking away with you. I will make you the recipient of my eternal gratitude, my lifelong friendship, and my unconditional love.
Save it for when you try to hook up at AA or the Salvation Army or wherever you end up rotting. I only want money, or you can take your god-awful music elsewhere.
I think I've got about $1,000. Is 50 okay?
No, 1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid. You get the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the chopsticks and the algae, and I'll take care of the rest.
To mogą być nieco osobiste pytania.
Are you ready? My questions are somewhat personal.
Well, in that case, we could start playing our old game again, but backward. Every time you open your mouth, you give me another reason to feel sorry for your pathetic self and put an end to your sorry, meaningless existence. Considering the vegetative state of your brain, it would be a true act of euthanasia.
Are you barefoot because you don't own any shoes? Or did you make some sort of vow?
Is that what you think? Well then, let's just say I made a promise never to reveal why I go barefoot. Go figure that one out, kid.
Mam wrażenie, że twój prysznic nie działa jak należy i pralka też, prawdę mówiąc.
It looks like your shower isn't working right. Or your washing machine, for that matter.
You're calling me a pig, aren't you? Well, get over it. I smell like myself, like a human being. In other words, what I'm supposed to smell like. If I'm not mistaken, you smell like body milk, shaving mousse, aloe vera gel, conditioner, artificial aromas B303, F507, and H452, along with any perfume made from camel's sweat that happens to be in fashion. Conclusion, the only dirty pig here is you, and you spent a fortune to get that way on top of it.
Wazowski twierdzi, że go uderzyłeś, zawiązałeś oczy i podałeś jak tarantuli.
Wazowski says you hit him, blindfolded him, and gave him tarantula venom.
Wazowski is an imbecile. He was so drunk he fell down the stairs in his own house, so I threw him over my shoulder and dragged him back up. I put a wet rag on his forehead and eyes to lower his fever, but the guy started to get delirious and spewed a bunch of nonsense about his theory on bears. Then I made him a nice broth out of Terra-Brachula, a harmless brachiopod, and left him sleeping. The rest is a product of his moronic imagination.
Znasz teorię Wazowskiego o tym, czemu niedźwiedzie się drapią?
Do you know Wazowski's theory about why bears scratch themselves?
I'm not just familiar with it. The theory is actually mine. I'm the one who discovered that female bears in heat scratch birch trees to get the sap out. It's as sweet as honey and can be used to make syrup. I noticed that right afterward, they rub their back against the tree to get all covered in it. Then a bear comes along, smells her back, gets on top of her to enjoy the delicacy, and well, nature takes care of the rest. But I don't care about Wazowski stealing the theory from me. I'm used to that kind of thing. Plus, the poor devil has to get some kind of enjoyment.
I think we should talk about more important things, Archibald.
I shudder to think what type of things are important to you.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat coming from you.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle, if you know how. But you'd better not bother me without a good reason.
Thanks.
Okej, potrzebujemy kilku składników, żeby przygotować sushi.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running. What a nut! Great. The important thing is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that, yes, I bet I can use that Chinese sign I grabbed at Wazowski's as a makeshift mat. What a relief. One less thing to worry about. And this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. It's always nice to know you've got half the things you need without moving a finger.
Ale teraz tak, potrzebujemy jeszcze pałeczki i potrzebujemy łososia. Przyszła mi taka pewna myśl do głowy. Bo ja mam tutaj kawałek drewna, a tutaj jest siekierka. Może gdyby udało się to rozbić na drobniejsze kawałki, udałoby się zdobyć patyczki.
It's not the most ideal tool, but if I cut it in just the right spot, maybe I could carve something resembling chopsticks. Well, it can't hurt to try. Look at that! I did a pretty good job.
Czyli kolejny problem z głowy. Teraz musimy zdobyć łososia. Ale wejdę sobie jeszcze raz na górę, wyjrzę przez balkon i zobaczę, czy będę mógł wziąć tą butelkę wybielacza.
Yeah, I think I've earned it. It isn't full, but there's quite a bit left. Luckily it's closed tight and didn't break when that nutcase threw it at me.
No dobra, spróbujmy.
Okay, let's check out the results. It's a little stinky, but now it looks a lot more like the head of a polar bear.
Szczerze powiedziawszy, w dalszym ciągu dla mnie to wygląda jak jakiś osioł. Kompletnie nie przypomina niedźwiedzia, no ale jest przynajmniej w białym kolorze. Może Wazowski w końcu powie, tak, to jest ta dobra maska, którą będę mógł założyć. No i co, pozbędziemy się niedźwiedzia przy przeręblu. Mam przynajmniej taką nadzieję. Ogólnie, moi drodzy, kiedy patrzę na ten klimat zimowy i tak dalej, ojej, aż tęsknię za zimą, naprawdę, za oknem mam prawie 40 stopni, a muszę nagrywać ten odcinek przy zamkniętym oknie, żeby mikrofon dźwięków nie zbierał z ulicy. Wyobraźcie sobie, że w pokoju mam naprawdę mega gorąco i mega duszno. Dobra, przekażmy zatem tą głowę łosia Wazowskiemu.
Yeah, I could pass it off as a fat-headed bear. But when it's on, Wazowski won't be able to see where he's walking and he might bump into something painful. I should do something about this.
Nie będzie nic widział. Czyli rozumiem, że musiałbym wydubać te oczy. Spróbuję za pomocą noża.
Yeah, great idea. The knife's not very sharp, but I could use it to cut a lengthwise strip which could then be lifted like a visor. That way, whoever puts the head on can see where they're walking. Done. Hope it works.
No i mamy głowę.
All right, I'll leave it on top of his backpack to give him a surprise. There we go. Ben!
What's up, amigo?
Surprise, my friend. Look what you've got in your backpack.
The head of a bear? Very well done, but what variety of polar bears does that head belong to? I can't seem to place it.
Well, it's actually from a moose.
The moose polar bear? Not familiar with that species, but I've never been to a moose myself. Where's that located? Anyway, I don't think there's much of a difference between polar bear species anyway.
Of course not. The time has come, Ben. Now that your disguise is complete, you can totally infiltrate the inner core of the bear community without a fear. And what better way to begin than by trying to fraternize with that bear down there, fishing in the frozen river?
Yeah, why not? I've been observing that specimen for some time, and it may be a good contact to start with. It's a youthful cub whose growth isn't complete. Though, you can never trust them. They can rip your head off with one swipe of the claw. Well then, the moment of truth has arrived.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go. A touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
Kropla esencji wściekłego niedźwiedzia. Coś mi się wydaje, że to skończy się źle.
No, I better not distract the bear while Wazowski tries to win over its trust.
Okej. Dobra, cofnijmy się i zobaczmy, czy Wazowski wrócił, czy może jednak pokonał niedźwiedzia.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Co tak naprawdę się wydarzyło, że on wrócił tutaj z powrotem i maskę odłożył na plecach? To strata czasu, takie obserwowanie z daleka, przecież mógłbyś stać obok tego niedźwiedzia w dole. Wiecie co? Wydaje mi się, że ja powinienem podmienić tutaj buteleczkę, kiedy go nie ma, na tą z feromonami.
It seems like
Are you sure it isn't too risky, Brian? It looked like it wanted to disembowel me before.
Nie, kolego, on się przestraszył, bo stałeś.
No, man. The thing is, he got scared because you were standing up.
Now that you mention it, of course. He must have thought I wanted to fight, so he got angry.
I'm sure there wouldn't be any problem if you got on all fours.
You think so? Well, I'll try again.
That's the spirit, Ben.
My pod friend, here comes Benjamin Wazowski.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go. A touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
Okej, no dobra, spróbujmy podmienić zatem buteleczki. Mamy tutaj butelkę.
Girl bear pheromones are not my idea of a great...
Zapach misiowej panienki.
Yes, now that Wazowski is gone, I can do it without getting caught.
Oj, coś czuję, że kiedy Wazowski pójdzie po raz kolejny do misia,
I hope Wazowski doesn't notice.
to nie skończy się to dla niego zbyt dobrze. Dobra, poczekamy aż wróci. Nie będę się za daleko oddalał. Przejdę się tutaj, przejdę się z powrotem. A go jak nie było, tak nie ma.
Its leaves are long and dark.
What a failure. That bear is too vicious for me. As soon as he caught a glimpse of me, he started to growl. I didn't dare get any closer.
Musimy go przekonać, żeby poszedł tam po raz trzeci.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Dobra, wybierzmy jeszcze raz tą opcję dialogową.
It seems like
Are you sure?
Nie możesz teraz zaryzykować, Ben, jesteś zbyt blisko mety.
you can't give up now, Ben. You're too close to the finish line.
I'm no quitter, but I don't want to die at the hands of a bear either.
Die? My impression is that they growled as a sort of primeval greeting.
Yeah, maybe he was. Come on. Where is my bear head from a moose?
Right where you left it, on the backpack.
I'm really out of it. One of these days, I'm gonna lose my head. Anyway, let's go.
Go get him, Ben.
World, here I come.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go. A touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
No to będziemy mieli prawdopodobnie przedstawienko.
Something tells me Wazowski's gonna be a success this time. They vanished into the woods. Oh, the humanity! It was terrifying! Wazowski's face was like an open book, especially at the beginning. But then, I don't know how to describe it. Well, I hope he's happy in his new life. The important thing is that love conquered all.
Okej. Nieważne, co się stało Wazowskiemu. Ważne, że przerębel jest teraz pusty. No i mam nadzieję, że uda nam się złowić łososia. O, spójrzcie, zgubił coś.
Wazowski must have dropped it during his little, office meeting. I'd have to walk across the ice, which, isn't on my itinerary.
Czyli żeby to dosięgnąć, musiałbym coś na tym użyć. Może ten kij hokejowy się nada.
Yeah, I think I can reach it. Let me see if I can. I'll return it to Wazowski if he shows up around here.
O, ile się tu zjawi. No dobra, mamy przerębel. My nie mamy żadnej wędki w ekwipunku. Może tym porożem uda się złowić łososia.
Great idea, but it may be a bit short. I'd have to get off the trunk to reach the hole, which may jeopardize my life. I'd better not try that.
Czyli poroże jest za krótkie. No dobra, mamy coś długiego. Ponownie kij hokejowy.
Hey, good idea. I'll try to copy the bear. Let's see if I can do it as well as he does. The stick is so smooth and flat that as soon as I touched the salmon, it slipped off and swam away.
Kij jest zbyt gładki. Ale z drugiej strony, gdybyśmy tą skarpetę niedźwiedzia założyli na kij hokejowy...
Yeah, that looks like a good imitation bear claw. Quite promising. Look out, salmon, here I come.
Może ten łosoś nabije się na te pazury.
Okay, let's hope my idea works now.
No i mamy rybkę.
Unbelievable! I never would have imagined it to be so easy. Took some work, but I've got it at last. One perfect specimen of an Alaskan salmon.
Czyli tak naprawdę mamy wszystkie składniki, żeby przygotować sushi. Dobra, cofnijmy się z powrotem pod chatę Wazowskiego. I teraz tak. Tutaj jest jakiś otwór. Prawdopodobnie na tym otworze będę musiał użyć fletu.
I'll tell him what I've gotten. That way I can be sure he won't forget the deal we made.
Idzie dzika bestia. Archibald.
Look, I brought everything you wanted to make the sushi. And I have the cash, too. Do you mind if I ask you something, Archibald?
Znasz profesora Simona? To może być nieco osobiste pytanie. $1000 to trochę za drogo za talerz sushi.
$1,000 is a bit steep for a plate of sushi. I think it's only fair that you lower your price a bit.
Whatever you say. But if we lower the price, it's only fair that we lower the quality too. So, in the end, I get less than $1,000. Then you get a dish of sushi with no fish, no rice, and whatever I feel like sticking in. It depends on how well you can take another bottle in your face.
Ile czasu potrzebujesz, żeby przygotować sushi? Gdzie je zostawisz?
Will you take long to prepare the sushi? Where will you leave it?
How long is it going to take you to learn not to stick your nose into other people's work? It'll be ready when it's ready, mister. I doubt you'll understand, but let me try to explain. If you come here and the sushi's nowhere to be seen, then it's not ready. But if you come and see a plate of sushi, that means it's done. Did you comprehend that?
Yeah, but if you leave it out here, some animal might come by and eat it.
Mógłbyś je zostawić na górze w domu?
Maybe you could leave it upstairs, inside the house.
Never. That house stinks like bear pee, which would ruin the sushi's aroma.
Czy nie będzie lepiej, jeśli przyjdę po sushi do ciebie?
Wouldn't it be better for me to come get the sushi at your place?
Don't even dream about it, kid. As far as you're concerned, I'm homeless.
It might be safer if you leave it right in the shelter, where my friend is waiting.
Well, well. Mama's boy is requesting a delivery service. If that's what you want, call up Sicily and order a pizza. They're gross. You'll love them.
I said please, Archibald. Take the sushi to the shelter for me.
All right, but favors have a price. That'll cost you more.
That's impossible. I gave you all I have.
That's nice to know. Tonight I shall dine on sushi as I ask myself where the $1,000 in my pocket came from.
What more do you want? The clothes off my back?
Kid, only one thing would gross me out more than wearing your disgusting, oversized baby clothes. Having to see you naked as you hand it over to me.
I don't know what else I can give you.
Let me think. If I'm not mistaken, you have a cell phone on you, right?
Yeah, but it cost me a fortune.
I was thinking I could resell it, but forget it. I'll take you the sushi in exchange for you leaving me alone and getting out of here for good.
My sincere thanks, Archie.
Archie? You have the balls to call me Archie? What do you think we are, relatives? Or do you think you have the right to insult my parents' good taste with your tacky nicknames?
Sorry, Archie,
Not again! You little... All right, give me the cell phone. The cell phone, or the deal's off.
All right, if there's no other choice. At the shelter, okay?
If I'd known you were trying to feed the village people's blind cousin, I'd be preparing, making the sushi with your eyeballs. And if you bug me again, kid, I'll make some with your family jewels.
No, man. That won't be necessary.
You'd make some great sausage, too.
See you later.
Good riddance, kid.
Why, you... Oh! Come on, Joshua. Here, boy.
Delicious. What's for dessert?
Hey, what about that password?
Yes. Yes. I remember.
Where are you going?
Yahoo! I'm starving.
Look at the mess this wacko got us into. Well, at least it stopped snowing. That's better than nothing. Maybe I should have kept my big mouth shut.
Jak zwykle Joshua musiał coś nabroić. Kurde no, a już myślałem, że poda nam hasło i będziemy mogli dostać się do Simona. W każdym bądź razie musimy mu w jakiś sposób pomóc. Tutaj mamy wyciągarkę samochodową. Gdybyśmy tak rzucili to do Joshuły. Tylko jest problem, bo to nie jest interaktywne ani klikalne. Spójrz na linę.
That's one of those doohickeys they use to drag heavy things with. The cable is released, then pulled in by a small motor. I think it's called a winch. Hey, I could use it to tow Joshua to shore. I hope I can get it to work.
No, też mam taką nadzieję.
I was afraid of this. The battery is dead. It won't work unless I get the pickup truck started first.
Dopóki nie uruchomię silnika ponownie, poczekajcie. Ja mam kanister z benzyną.
No, for now I don't need any more gas.
Czyli musiałbym w jakiś sposób otworzyć tą maskę, prawdopodobnie.
I don't get it. I don't know.
To nie zadziała. Spójrz na wyciągarkę, spójrz na pick-up.
I hope it doesn't fall off as I open it. Yeah, if I get the engine to start, the winch will work. We're in luck. The key is in the ignition. It won't start. I guess I was asking for a miracle.
No pięknie. Jeszcze samochód jest popsuty.
It's got gasoline for sure, and the battery light hasn't come on, so there must be something wrong with the engine. I'm not much of an auto mechanic, but it can't hurt to open up the hood and take a look-see.
Okej.
How weird. There's no sign of the rod used to hold up the hood.
Nie ma podpórki, ale mamy kij hokejowy, który już kilkukrotnie wykorzystaliśmy.
The hockey stick may be too long, but it could work. Though it would be better if I take off the bear claw first. Perfect. Now I can take a good look at the engine. Okay, let's see if I can figure out why it won't start. One thing's for sure, it doesn't have any spark plugs.
Nie ma świecy. Ja w ekwipunku też nie mam żadnej świecy.
It's topped off with fuel, ready to roll. If your plan is to start chopping up everything you come across, you'd better come up with another one. That won't do any good.
Nic z tego nie będzie.
I'm not very good at these things, but I'll take a look. One thing's for sure, it doesn't have any spark plugs.
Brakuje świecy. Skąd wziąć świecę?
It's topped off with fuel, ready to roll.
No wydawało mi się, że w pile spalinowej powinno coś takiego być, ale w jaki sposób miałbym to wyciągnąć? Próbowałem użyć na tym noża.
Yeah, I could use the knife as a screwdriver in order to remove the spark plug from the chainsaw. Presto! Now I've got a spark plug.
Tylko pytanie, czy ona będzie pasowała do tego samochodu, czy to jest ten sam model?
Let's see if I can put it in right.
W sumie to chyba nie ma znaczenia.
Done. Hopefully the engine will work now.
Oby, mam przynajmniej taką nadzieję. Musimy uratować Joshuę, już nie wiem który raz podczas nagrywania tego let's playu.
Cross your fingers. Sweet! Let's hope the winch will work. Yes! Let's get this nightmare over with. Joshua, pay attention! Grab it! I've got to get that nutcase off the icy lake. Perfect, this is working. I'll get Joshua's monk outfit from the shelter. He should be wearing it when we go to Professor Simon's house. If they see him in his regular clothes, they won't let us in, even with the password. Here, Joshua. Well, here we go.
The man who knows does not speak.
The man who speaks doesn't know.
Come in. Don't be afraid of the dogs.
Come on, chomp chomp.
What about those mutts?
Those barking dogs? Just one of Simon's MP3s. And I thought I wouldn't live to tell the story, but I had a stroke of luck and managed to escape through the amoeba.
My dear friend, you've displayed some exemplary courage by confronting Kordsmeyer. And as for you...
My name is Joshua, and I'm starving.
I see. Alpha spoke to me of you, the human who lives among Trantorians. You are quite lucky.
My stomach's growling with hunger.
As is mine, dear friend, though it's the hunger for knowledge which makes us scientists.
I think my legs are going to give out.
Joshua, we're short on time, and I haven't even figured out what those Trantorians are doing here.
You are new to the field then. Please, take a seat. Trantor, an ancient and distinguished planet, more than 60 light eons from our own.
Let me tell you, if you thought the walk up here was far...
Its inhabitants had already dominated quantum technology before the first single-celled being sprouted to life on Earth.
What he means is they already had some awesome wares running when our ancestors were riding in time.
They learned to model the space-time continuum at their whim, to leap from galaxy to galaxy, to alight onto dimensional vortices in a purely tangential manner.
You know what? Their travel budget was out of this world.
Their telepathic mastery is such that they could dispense with their mere physical presence, should that be their whim.
Dude, not even Scullery thought of that.
As you are aware, their civilization is beyond ours by an exponentially awe-inspiring amount.
They do seem to be pretty quick.
They could effortlessly make slaves of whole solar systems and shrink them infinitesimally with nothing but a thought.
Their brains could fry our sorry bodies into a heap of atoms. Boggles the mind, huh?
Yet all that seems to interest them is an intergalactic zoo.
He means the only... A what?
A zoo?
Fascinating, is it not? They trek throughout the universe collecting animals and take them to a planet 3 times larger than Earth, an immense zoological collection where ecosystems from extremely distant galaxies and eras coexist. During the journey, they put the animal into an induced slumber which they refer to as the dream.
Sounds like they've been keeping some info from me.
Furthermore, they've been coming to Earth since the dawn of time, and though they actually need no one, they have made us all stakeholders in their enterprise.
The truth is, I don't quite get it.
A time came at which Earth's technological development made it difficult for Trantorians to go unnoticed, and therefore they contacted our most eminent scientists to reach an agreement. We would protect them when visiting, conceal them from the public eye, and supply them with animals. In exchange, they would provide us with some of their knowledge and most advanced technology.
What a deal!
Yes, my friend. Don't you find it unbelievable that mankind has carried out the technological revolution of the 20th century with no help? Had Trantor failed to furnish us with knowledge, theories, and prototypes, we would never have gotten so far. Think of heretofore unconceivable vaccines, the space race, or even the vacuum tubes in the first computer. And you are thinking of Trantor.
I knew that, and the first jelly-filled donut. They told me so.
Astounding, isn't it? As I was saying, we trade animals for wisdom. The Earthling entity responsible for coordinating these efforts is the Contactors International Agency, of which I myself was a member until recently.
Until Kordsmeyer appeared, I suppose.
Precisely, during the dream of the platypus. We were waiting for the Trantorians in a cave in Kubapedi, Australia, when the rocks in the ceiling started raining down on us. It looked like our days were numbered. Right at that moment, a Trantorian appeared through an amoeba point carrying a small sphere in his hand. The NG-0, an antiparticle generator that reduces all sorts of matter to nothing. He raised it up and aimed it at the rocks, and they disappeared instantaneously, as if they'd never existed. Since then, Kordsmeyer has been awfully interested in the NG-0. He even ordered me to ask the Trantorians for it. When I refused, he tried to have me eliminated. So I was forced to leave my position and flee to this dull hideout. Surrounded by safety measures with passwords known only by Alpha, Trantor's High Commissioner for Earthling Affairs. And now you, of course.
So what we know is that Kordsmeyer has managed to get a Trantorian spaceship into trouble. At least enough for it to risk sending a message through Joshua.
Whoops! With all this chit-chat, I forgot about the message. Yes, Simon.
What is that?
Let us join hands, and then you will see.
Joshua put a lid on it.
Man!
Silence!
Trantor's High Commissioner for Earthling Affairs with the human name Alpha. Scientific Craft 317 Milky Way 2801. Mission, The Dream of the Turtle. Date, 3/89/7/28/24 Onion 14/7. Hello. Professor James Simon, we require your help once again. Our head chef has stolen the Trentonite from our ship, both the current and spare Trentonite stones, and has given it to the military. Colonel Nathaniel H. Kurzmeyer will only return them to us if we exchange it for something you call the NG0. We do not want to give it up, but as you know, Trentonite forms part of our very essence, and we cannot survive far from it. As you know, we cannot even breathe long without it. And as if that were not enough, yesterday we found a seriously injured human at the bottom of Tiki Lake, where our ship is located.
Gina! She's alive!
According to our moral code, we were required to help her. Under normal conditions, we would have cured her immediately, but without the Trentonite, we can do nothing more than keep her in a dreamlike state. And that is depleting the little energy we have available. Nonetheless, one chance for salvation still remains. Professor James Simon. Centuries ago, one of our reconnaissance ships crashed near the city now known as Palenque. And the Trentonite kept on board may still be in that area. Professor James Simon, find it and a way to bring it to us. And some of the local onion soup. Every can of senior onion you can muster. Please.
Professor Simon, are you okay?
Just give me a minute or two. I need to warm up.
Aren't you hungry too?
Holy smokes! We have to keep the Trantorians from giving the NG0 to Kordsmeyer for sure. In the wrong hands, that weapon could destroy a city the size of Los Angeles in tenths of a second. Dear friends, we must travel to Palenque to find the Trentonite immediately, or we can begin to say farewell to the world as we know it.
You can count on me, Professor. And on Joshua, of course.
I bet you're just real hungry, Professor Simon. Hey, why don't we call that sushi guy?
Good thinking. May I use your phone?
It isn't a safe way to communicate, given the circumstances. Do you mind if I ask why?
I know of a friend who could help us out. Someone we fully trust.
Magnificent. Then I recommend you sit at my laptop computer and use the impenetrable ultra-safe crypto chat. Provided that your friend is online at this very moment, that is.
Don't worry. If there were one person online in the whole world, it'd be Sushi Douglas.
Well, I am clueless about the online chatting. Of course, since Trantor is all about telepathic talk.
Hey, Sushi, are you there?
Do you mean that the Trantorians don't have the internet? How do you think Alpha informs us of trading dates, if not by email? In fact, after reading their email, we type in www.planet-trantor.com and we enter our code so that they will provide us with the details of the transaction.
I'm totally out of the loop. Nobody told me about any of this.
You leave me in awe, my dear friend. If not, where do you believe the network of all networks was designed? In the mind of a simple human? No, it was them who showed us how to build it and use it. What I've never understood is how they get online from other solar systems. I don't know. Perhaps they used neutrino transducers, like in that splendid novel by William Garza.
Have you got that one? That book must have gotten at least 5 stars. You wouldn't happen to have anything by Sarah Martin, would you?
Nathan?
What's up, doll? Think you'll ever find our little pest?
Hush, hush, soldier boy. My spiderweb is about to strangle both him and the monk. And it looks like we got 3 for the price of 2. Your old pal Simon's here.
Simon? Ha! I knew I'd end up catching him. Overeducated scientist. Anyway, make him vanish and come to Mama pronto, lady.
Have you already gotten the real Pignon to cooperate?
I know how to make up his mind. The clock's ticking before the big event.
K. Dick, all of Asimov, and of course Brian Scullery's complete works.
Yuck! What are you doing with that gossipy pulp in your library?
Allow me to tell you a secret. If you tug on the 3rd volume of his infamous UFO Lies and the Houdini Legacy, you'll see something open up before your feet.
At Simon's house. And that's where my story ends, for now.
Sounds like quite an adventure, but you can count on me. What do you want me to do?
Think about it, shrimp. While you pull the trigger, I'll stick my finger up the barrel. My fingers get blown off, but the force of the opposite reaction will make the bullet shoot backwards, at a speed 9 times faster. It'll blow up the gun and your face will get erased.
Seriously?
I knew you were an idiot.
I'm gonna kill him!
No one ordered you to do it, 13. They're not paying you for this one. It's the ones inside they want.
Well, get a move on before my Christmas shopping begins.
Did that spy from Hawaii turn up yet?
Not yet, Tarantula.
This is getting a bit tiresome. They've been in there for hours. All right, 18. Finish off the other 2. Then we'll go in and get the spy.
Which one should I take out first? The clown?
No, the old geezer's more important. What are you waiting for?
Houdini's Legacy, Joshua. Brian, go after him.
What about you?
I'll be fine. Everything depends on you now. Run!
But
Jump for Pete's sake! Find that stone! Find it!
Brian? Are you there? Brian? Something's wrong. We have to leave immediately. Saturn, we're going on a trip. Brian's in trouble.
BB in trouble? Give me 5 minutes.
You're not leaving me here, are you, man?
And bring your best equipment. We may need it.
4 minutes.
I'll go grab some equipment too, but the good stuff. You're gonna fly when you see it, man.